Welcome back to Monday All Weekend, everybody. We're here, we're
Yep,
live, and we've got things to talk about. Hopefully,
absolutely.
we do. Sure.
Absolutely. We got some stuff to talk about, some new news, some big things that's going on. Announcements for new content on HBO. Well, I guess not HBO Max, but Max, right? What's coming out
Max.
this fall, the rest of the year, as well as what's coming out in 2025, which is pretty exciting stuff. I'll be honest, there's a handful of titles here that I'm really excited about. We're
Yeah,
also going to be
including
looking.
House of the Dragon Season 3, right?
No, 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 no. We're also going to be, but before we're going to start with, the big thing is Deadpool and Wolverine has smashed records. It's absolutely just annihilated so many theatrical weekend opening records. And we're going to go through some of those records. Full disclosure, I haven't seen the movie yet. Have you?
No. Wyatt went and watched it right before he left.
Man,
And
it would have
it
been
was
great to see him.
late on a weekday night for some reason,
Right.
like at 8:30 on a weekday night, and I'm like, I got working the next morning. It's
Hmm.
it's not here, but I do know a few spoilers
Do
because
you?
the internet and everything.
I've heard of a few spoilers, but let's quickly take a look at this. So this is where it's currently sitting as far as Rotten Tomatoes goes. People pretty much enjoy this
I'm
movie, right?
sitting at 96.
Yeah, yeah. People really enjoy this movie. All audiences 95, verified audience is 96, top critics is 61, and all
which
critics 79, right?
which makes sense because of the things that I've heard that's in it. It's very much a how do I say this without it sounding bad? It's gonna sound bad.
I don't know.
Pandering to a certain kind of audience of like bringing certain people back.
Okay, go into that a little bit more. I'm not sure what you mean.
So I know they brought back some characters from previous movies that people
Mhm.
liked, and not just Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, some
Right.
other Marvel characters that they brought back.
Right. Okay. Yes. It's
Some
definitely
fan
fan
fav-
service. It's
some
fan service,
some
right?
fan favorite characters, yeah.
Right. So we're gonna take a look at Deadpool and Wolverine box office, all records broken so far. I did a little bit. We looked at this a little bit ahead of time, and I'm gonna be honest, it's pretty impressive, right?
Mhm.
We knew this was going to be pretty big. We didn't know to what level this was going to be big. We knew that the pool of Wolverine coming back. We knew that there's, a really big following with Deadpool, but we didn't know how big this was going to be, right? And
Yeah.
my cat is already trying to say hello to everybody. Ah, all right.
Did she just hiss at
I
you?
gotta no, no, I made that sound. She got a tower right up here, and sometimes she just decides in the middle of recording, it's time for me to come off the tower and roam. Anyways, so we're gonna go through this. We're gonna take a look at these records. So a little bit down in this article. So it is the sixth biggest domestic opening of all time among any film, right?
That's crazy.
It is.
That's
It is a
crazy.
pretty
What
big.
Okay, so Avengers Endgame,
Well, this is different, I
Spider-Man.
think. Hold on. So this is the fourth biggest Hollywood superhero opening. So this list, I believe, goes with this, right?
Okay.
Maybe. No, no, this is of any film of all time, actually, I guess. So it's not the highest grossing film, but it is the biggest opening, right, of all time, the sixth biggest opening. So you have Star Wars, The Last Jedi, right above it. You got Star Wars, The Force Awakens, right above, coming in at number 4. Avengers Infinity War at number 3. Spider-Man No Way Home at number 2. And Avengers Endgame at number 1. So Deadpool is number 6 on this list of highest earning opening
Opening
weekends, which
weekend.
is
Opening
yeah,
weekend, which that's crazy though. Like Avatar's not on here, or even like some Cameron movies. That's
right.
crazy.
Well, the thing is those are like over time throughout the entire theatrical
Yeah.
run, it becomes the biggest, but they don't have as big of a opening because part of that is like everyone intends to see it, but some of these superhero movies, especially the Avengers and Spider-Man with like the 3 of them being there, you know what I mean?
Everybody's there the opening
Every
night.
everyone's like,
Which,
"I'm itching to see this,"
man,
right?
it's sad. They took away our midnight release. You show up on like
You
Friday at midnight and to go watch this movie, and that was always fun. I
Imma
don't know.
be honest, I look, it was a fun idea, but I am kind of glad they don't do that because, I'd still be going to those
You're an old
midnight
man,
releases,
because you're
and
an
we
old
won't be
man.
getting
That's
home
why
until 3 AM. Ugh, ugh.
it's
Alright, so
fun.
this is
It's
the
for the
4th.
kids.
I get it, I get it. Alright,
It's
so
for the kids, not for an old man like you.
alright, we got a bunch to get through. The 4th biggest Hollywood superhero opening, right? So above that is similar
That's crazy.
titles with
Fourth
Infinity War,
biggest.
Endgame, and No Way Home, right? So we already kinda went through that list when it comes
Yeah,
to
like all
superheroes.
the
This is
Avengers and then Spider-Man.
right. This is where it gets interesting. So the biggest R-rated opening, both domestically and globally, right? The biggest R-rated opening.
Okay.
So traditionally, PG-13 movies hold that title as the
Yeah.
biggest,
Makes
right?
sense.
This is the biggest R-rated. So you have the 3 Deadpools, and this is the top, Deadpool and Wolverine. You also have It and Joker and Matrix Reloaded, It Chapter 2, Logan, The Hangover 2, and 50 Shades of Grey. So, this is the biggest R-rated film opening of all time.
Yeah, we'll see how Joker 2 performs
That's
when
true,
that
that's
comes
true.
out.
Wally Adu, we're gonna see how that, and it's not too.
Although, I think people like Deadpool more anyway because it's more fun and whimsical than Joker's a little depressing when you come out of it. You're like, "That was artful but depressing."
This is probably a little bit more fun. And also, if you're here and you watch this movie or you have insight, interact with us in the chat. We'd love to talk through this with you and interact with you guys here on this live stream. Biggest July opening of all time domestically. All right. So it just holds biggest July opening of all time
Wait a
domestically.
minute.
That's just it. Right.
Top Gun? I
Yeah,
mean,
it'd
I
be
know
Top Gun.
maybe not that wasn't opening, but was Top Gun the 4th of July? Did they come out with that on the 4th?
I haven't a clue, man. That was almost 3 years ago.
I'm pretty sure it came out on the 4th of July. I could be wrong about
Well,
that.
it didn't have as big of an opening as this.
Not big of an opening. Tom Cruise he'll slide in there, but not opening.
Alright, and this is the biggest domestic opening since Spider-Man: No Way Home. A similar name, so, midweek North America records, Deadpool and Wolverine served up the biggest Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday gross for an R-rated film and among the top days ever for July, alright?
Yeah.
Uh, Second week record. So this is actually pretty interesting when you get into this. So Deadpool and Wolverine crossed the 300 million threshold domestically in North America on Friday, this past Friday, right?
Mhm.
Um, when it passed up Deadpool 2's lifetime domestically cum of 318 million. And by Sunday, it passed up the entire lifetime run for the first 2 films, both domestically and globally, after just 2 weeks in theaters. Deadpool's domestic earnings were at 363 million for a global total of 782 worldwide, the second film's worldwide total of 734. So it's
That's
basically competing with this Deadpool 2 a little bit, and it's
mhm.
already beat Deadpool 2, right? And
That's I'm curious how, like, if you take out advertising numbers and everything, it came out because I don't remember them advertising the second one as much as they advertised this one. There
this
was a
one, they went
lot of
hard, man.
advertising.
They went
With
hard.
between Hugh and Ryan Reynolds. Uh, Ryan that's right,
Ry
right? Ryan
Ryan
Reynolds?
Reynolds, yeah.
Okay,
Like I said, now you got me questioning Ryan Reynolds, yes.
one of the Ryans. Um, they did a lot of advertising for
Yeah,
this movie.
yeah, definitely, and I think with good reason. Yeah, they knew theaters were down, and they're like, "Look, if we're gonna get people to the theaters, we gotta promote, 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 nonstop promotion," right?
Mhm.
This is where it gets really crazy when it comes to numbers and projections, all right? So within spitting distance of becoming the top grossing R-rated film of all time globally and not just in North America, all right?
Mm.
It shot up to number 3 over the weekend after Deadpool and Deadpool 2. Todd Phillips' Joker is presently number 1 at 1.64 billion. So it will take another week or so for Deadpool and Wolverine to overtake that film. All right. Bets are on the film to ultimately land in the 1.2 billion range. Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer is currently at number 2 globally for an R-rated film
Yeah.
with 975 million. So just a little shy of $1 billion. So they're expecting this to reach 1.2 billion in their theatrical run, which will make it number 1 R-rated film of all time. So it will beat the Joker, which is currently holds that title, right? That's what they're
Yeah.
saying the projections will be. It's the second biggest film of 2024 behind sister Pixar divisions Inside Out 2. So I don't know,
Okay.
behind 6 sister Pixar divisions. Anyway, whatever. So currently Inside Out 2 is
That's a
grossed at
weird way of saying it. I think they're
1.06.
just saying, like, Disney kind of had a hand in Marvel, and now they've got a hand it's a
Oh, I got you.
a a hand of Disney came out with Inside Out.
Right. Which also by the way, this is a pretty big summer because Inside Out 2 is currently
Mhm.
at 1.56 billion. It is the highest grossing animated film of all time. All right.
Well, everybody expected that, though.
We did, and
Inside
again,
Out.
we didn't know to what
Yeah.
level this was going to be a success for both of these movies. We knew they were going to work and make money. We didn't know that it was going to shatter all records. So, if we were gonna get into theory about why the theaters are bringing in these type of numbers and this many people, do you think people just have not been going to the theater as much, and they're like, I think I'm gonna go see a movie, and this one of these seems like the right one to go to, you know?
Yeah, and also, I mean, well, Inside Out, I don't think counts, and I don't think we can put it under any of these numbers because it's kids. We
Mm.
know kids can make that number go up in so big.
Well, we saw
I
it
don't know.
last
Yeah,
spring, right, with Mario, and
yeah.
then we saw last summer was Oppenheimer and Barbie, which those were big hits. So it's always about these summer blockbusters, and so this
Mhm.
summer it's Inside Out 2 and Deadpool and Wolverine, and we have yet to see what movies like Alien Romulus is gonna land, right?
We'll
So there's a
see.
few more.
That's fun, but I think that the fan base of Alien is not as big
No,
as
uh,
the Deadpool and Wolverine
no,
fan
no, no,
base.
it's not gonna come anywhere close to that. I'm just saying, like, it might surprise us, how big
Mhm.
those kinda movies get. These were just the big 2 fun, expected, anticipated summer movies, Deadpool and
Yeah.
Wolverine, Inside Out 2, and they're blowing records out of the water. Both of them are. The highest
Mhm.
grossing animated film of all time, Inside Out 2, it beat number 1, which
Yeah.
is kinda nuts. I guess a lot of people watched Inside Out
Well,
1 at home,
nope.
right?
Inside Out was like this, out of left field thing that came out and somehow became such a fan favorite, or,
Mhm.
like, so many people latched onto it, not even just kids, like,
Right.
adults too. I mean, think of in what year did it come out? I'm just gonna take a whack at it, like,
2015,
yeah,
2016.
2015. Just think of the Halloween costumes that came out the same year that that movie came out. Like,
Mhm. 2015. June
2015, so October
2015.
2015, how many costumes came out of, sadness, of joy, of all these, Halloween costumes?
Yeah,
People loved that movie, but it came out of left field, they weren't expecting that, and so, of
right.
course, the second one, everybody knows it that they already love it, and so it's clearly gonna be better than the first one, but,
Yeah,
you know
and with Deadpool and Wolverine, this was just so like, everybody was ready for this. Look,
Yeah.
ultimately, everyone enjoys it according to Rotten Tomatoes, or at least predominantly enjoy it. I think people, even if it's a
It
bit wacky, even if it's a bit mid of a story, people still enjoy it because they just wanted to see Wolverine and Deadpool, the 2 favorites of the
Yeah,
MCU, you know what I mean? They just
yes.
wanted to see
Um,
those.
can we look at reviews really quick? I
Yeah,
know we could we got another topic, but I just wanna look at the not the audience score. I wanna see the critics score, the one that's not as high. Why are critics not liking this movie as much? I'm just curious.
let's see. Okay, so here's a couple splats, a couple low ratings. The
Okay.
rapid fire style along with the way to meta approach ultimately prevents Deadpool and Wolverine from working as a standalone cinematic experience. Okay.
Yeah, but
That's I've
that's
heard
exactly Deadpool. That's the film style, that's
you're
the
right.
quippy, fast-paced n style of Deadpool.
All right. The movie offering up an onslaught of familiar, though largely forgotten superhero faces intended to elicit knowing, nostalgic nods and applause. Let's see. A predictable, bloated blockbuster. That's, I
That's
think
kinda what we said, but
that here, people who actually enjoyed it, if they're
mm,
being honest, when I'm watching reviews, they are saying this is not as good as the first two Deadpools.
mhm.
Right? So I'm saying, like, the story probably is not the strongest story ever. It's probably a bit mid, but people just wanted to see Wolverine and Deadpool together in a movie, and they wanted to see Wolverine in the yellow suit. They wanted to
Yeah,
have
the
Wolverine back,
classic Wolverine.
right? We haven't seen Hugh Jackman Wolverine since Logan, and this movie's already beat Logan in theatrical numbers, I'm pretty sure. Um, There are times when Deadpool and Wolverine seems to underestimate the futility of its own fixations. Yet the movie
Uh-huh.
ultimately endorses Deadpool's left field desire for conformity with tired, off-stated MCU ideals. All right. Yeah, people are saying very similar things. If we're going to simplify it, I'm going to say it is a bit bloated visually,
Mhm.
but it's not delivering, and there's, like, a lot happening, but ultimately it's kind of a shallow story, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think that's what you kind of expect going into this, so
Well, it's made for the characters, it's made for the jokes, that's what it is for, and it's made for the fan service, um, ultimately, and so I don't really I think that's everyone's I don't think anyone hates this movie, because on some level, you're happy to see Deadpool and Wolverine together,
yeah,
right? On some level, you're happy to see that, and I don't think people just hate this movie. Let us know in the chat if you guys are here live. I wanna hear if you guys watch this
yeah.
movie, what you guys thought about it, if you agree with some of these people. Any other thoughts about Deadpool and Wolverine's breaking records, right? Because they've done a lot. They're smashing, just ripping
Yeah,
apart records, especially for R-rated films, man. They are like on par to be number 1 like next weekend of R-rated films of all time, right? That's a big deal.
that is crazy. That's a pretty big number.
Yeah. And also for it to just rank as high as it is in the Marvel listings, like it's beating
Mhm.
out all the Iron Mans. It's beating out all of the Captain Americas, right? It's beaten all of them. The only thing it hasn't beaten is the Spider-Man No Way Home, and it hasn't beaten the two Infinity War Avengers and Avengers Endgame, right? That's the only
What
Marvels it hasn't beat yet.
cameo would you rather see? Uh, Wolverine coming back or, uh, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire coming back as Spider-Man? What would you rather see if you had not previously known that either were gonna be in the movie?
If neither existed yet and I had to pick,
Yeah.
I would have picked Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah, okay. That
I
makes
just
sense.
think look, I think Andrew Garfield was an amazing Spider-Man. I have so much nostalgia around the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. And I'm not the biggest fan of Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies, but if you need him to facilitate the other two doing a crossover, that's what I wanted to see. I'm very happy. I'm very happy that they have Deadpool and Wolverine, but if I had to pick
Yeah.
between the two, I would have picked Spider-Man. But we got both, right? Um,
Yeah, we've got both.
we
And
absolutely
we've
got
got
both.
a couple more cameos that we can't where you haven't
Right,
spoiled
right, 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 right,
for
right. Well,
Deadpool, but
there's a lot in this film. And everyone expected there to be a lot. There's a lot of jokes if there's a lot, you know? You can pull a
yeah,
lot of good, um, low-hanging fruit humor. Also, another thing that people are talking about with this movie is this is the kind of the first heavy-hitting, self-aware Deadpool, meaning it's making fun of not only itself, but it's making fun of Marvel Studios in a big way.
oh,
Because they've
really?
always yeah, they've made a lot of, um from what I've heard, they've made a lot of in the past in previous films, they've made a lot of sly comments jokingly about Marvel Studios and the Marvel MCU ultimately, but this one apparently seems to go a bit deeper with the slamming on the Marvel Cinematic Universe, jokes, right?
Yeah.
Which is always good. Self-aware is exactly what we want from Deadpool. I feel like you
But
can't.
yeah, that's Deadpool's character. So,
And
yeah,
even if the stories are super shallow, look, when I watched the first 2 Deadpools, I was like, the best thing about this is just Deadpool doing Deadpool things and not so much and, like, his humorous, violent fighting, right?
yeah.
There was nothing really about the story, like, that really interests me. His love story a little bit interests me, but it was still kind of mid. It didn't really connect with me emotionally at all. But just Deadpool being Deadpool is what made the movie interesting because
Mhm.
the writing and the story itself, not the writing of the character and his dialogue, but just the writing of the plot wasn't very strong in my mind for both films. So if they do the same thing for this, it's ultimately going to be enjoyed and looked at as a positive. And I believe everyone kind of agrees on that because it seems like from these money numbers, right? These records
Yeah.
that they're breaking, almost everyone's already seen it.
Well, people are itching to, get back in the theater and to watch something fun. They just wanna go and have a Friday night watching something fun,
Mhm. And who doesn't want to
doing
see
something fun.
man, do you think there's even a slight chance that Deadpool 3 without Wolverine, right? If they just did a Deadpool 3 with no Wolverine, would it even be able to come at anywhere close? I say
Yeah,
no.
but they would have to pull out something pretty good because the second one didn't do that good because
It did
the
well.
uh,
It did
it
well.
did okay, but it wasn't, like, the best film ever. Even if you go back and watch it now, people who like Deadpool are like, "It was okay," because it there was something that was missing in that film for Deadpool.
And it seems like it was missing Wolverine.
Yeah. Let's talk about this Max stuff.
Right, so we're gonna take a look at some Max. Max released a trailer for what is coming the end of this year as well as 2025. And if you guys watch Game of Thrones, if you all like White Lotus, if you like The Last of Us, you might be interested in seeing this trailer. We're gonna do a reaction to this trailer and see what it has in store for us. Right,
Okay.
we're gonna take a look to see what this fall has in store for us when it comes to 8 Max and what shows
Max.
as well as next year. So let's just go ahead and we'll pause and start if we feel like we need to.
Is
So we'll just
is it
react
worth
to
keeping
this.
my subscription after season 2 of House of the Dragon ended? Is it worth
Right.
keeping it?
Is it worth keeping it? Let's find out. That's actually an interesting point. I feel like they're releasing this to be like, and let's
Is it
remind
worth
you, we
keep your
House of
subscription?
Dragon is finished, but don't let go of your subscription because check out what's coming, right? So
Yeah.
let's go ahead and watch this.
We gotta take whatever we decide is ours. Because no one's gonna give it to us. We're not gonna have
Okay,
a
the
fight.
best
Oh,
is
the
yet to
best year
come.
yet.
The
That's
best
a
is
big
yet to
statement.
come.
That's a
Well,
big
they have to
statement.
let people know. They're like, "Hey,
Yeah,
we know a bunch of people
statement,
are here for
Max.
House of
Don't
the
be too
Dragon."
greedy.
So we got the Penguin, that's coming out. I've been anticipating this ever since I saw the
Yeah.
Batman,
It
and
Colin Farrell, is that
yeah,
correct?
Colin
Colin
Farrell.
Farrell did a phenomenal job on that movie. I mean, on that
Mhm,
character for the Batman
right.
movie.
Say what you will about the Batman and Matt Reeves and the story, I liked it. I freaking visually, I
Yeah.
was stunned. Robert Pattinson, I don't think he was like an amazing Batman, but I wasn't mad at it
Wait a
either,
minute.
right?
Wait a minute.
That's
Wait
not it's not
a
her, that's
minute.
not her, it's not her. I know you're thinking.
No, 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 no. I'm trying to make a comment on your Batman Robert Pattinson comment. I was the only one saying when that movie came out, I was the only one being like, Robert Pattinson, no. Everybody else was good in that movie, but Robert Pattinson can't play a good Batman. He's just this,
I'm
angsty
not saying
tween.
he's the best. I'm just saying he surprised me. He was better than I thought he would be, and I don't have a problem with him. He wasn't an
Okay,
amazing
well,
Spider-Man, but he wasn't bad either. All right.
he wasn't Spider-Man, so
Okay, so they're coming out with a show about Penguin from that film. Colin Farrell is
yes.
reprising his role
Okay.
as Penguin in a
The best part
series,
of that movie.
and that's coming out this fall. All right, so let's keep going.
I'll be calling the shots.
All right,
Sacrifices must be made.
this is no one's talking about this show, and I'm
Nobody's
really
talking
excited
about it.
about this one. This is a show about the world of Dune, right? And
Mhm.
it's about the Bene Gesserit, and I believe it's a show that is taking place 100 or maybe 200 years, a good amount of time before Paul Atreides is born, right?
Yeah.
And this is about the
Nobody's
Bene
talking about it
Gesserit.
at all.
Nobody's talking about
We
this
didn't
show.
even when the trailer came out for it, we didn't even talk about it.
I asked, can we do a reaction to this? And both of you were like, no, not really vibing with it
Nah.
yet. I'm really looking forward to this Dune show. I'm a big fan of Dune, and this I think has potential to really do well, especially since it's Max. If it was anybody else, I might be skeptical, but I'm pretty happy about this.
My luck has turned.
Industry, I haven't.
Yeah, I don't know
It's
anything
sort
about
of
that.
interesting. It's got Kit Harington.
Have you ever thought, am I killing cinema?
You never thought about it.
Yes, you are.
Let's
Oh, I'm not interested in this at all. Okay, a little bit of Batman.
Harley Quinn.
All right. So coming 2025. So all that's just coming out this year, right? Between now
Yep.
and Christmas, New Year's is all of that. So Dune and Penguin. And best believe
They're
we're going to
pretty
be
good.
doing live reactions on this channel and live reviews of after each episode airs, because I want to talk about these shows a lot, right?
I'm interested in the Dune show, because I feel like I don't want to downplay it, but I know kind of how Penguin is going to be. It's
Mm.
going to be mob boss. It's going to be,
I think it might surprise you.
it's going to be good. It's going to be good, but I don't think we don't know what it's going to be, and so I'm just curious what the Dune one is going to be. That's probably a
Right.
surprising one for me.
So coming 2025, we got White Lotus. Did you ever watch White Lotus, Joshua?
No.
I watched season 1 and 2, and I will say it's entertaining. It's not my favorite show, but it kept me watching. So I'm curious what season 3 might hold.
What happens in Thailand stays in Thailand.
They're going to Thailand.
I mean,
Let's see. So the first one, they went to an island. Second one, they were in Italy, I believe. This one's going to be in Thailand. All right.
fine.
And this is that spin-off of Sex in the City, right?
Exciting.
I know when you've set your mind on a thing, no one can stop you.
This ain't America.
Okay.
This is Derry.
Welcome to Derry. We talked about
Yeah.
this.
We have
So they're
talked about
making a
this.
show called Welcome to Derry about Derry, essentially. This is like
Ye-
a prequel show to the It movies.
You know, until we watched this commercial, in the back of my head, I was like, a Paramount Plus original show, Welcome to Derry. I thought it was Paramount Plus. I mean, not Paramount Plus. No, excuse me.
Paramount Plus.
Peacock.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was a
Yeah,
Peacock
Peacock was
original
gonna
show.
do it.
Because this seems like a Peacock thing. Does it not?
No. It seems
No?
like a Max thing to me. Yeah. I think it falls within that.
It'll be fun.
Max has quite a few Stephen King shows on their
Oh,
platform
yeah.
that they've
Yeah,
produced.
they do.
So it makes sense to me why they would have it.
You and I?
Oh,
I'm Sir Duncan the Tall.
Heck yeah. Okay. Sir
Duncan
Duncan the Tall. Um, Dunk and Egg. All right. That's what this is about. Knights of the
Mhm.
Seven Kingdoms. This is in between House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones. Now it's right towards the beginning of Game of Thrones, right? But this is about Egg, who's like a Targaryen. He's a little bald boy. And do you remember the Meister from Game of Thrones at Castle Black, right? The
Yeah.
Meister. Maester
Yeah.
Aemond, right?
Maester Aemon.
Maester
Yeah,
Aemon.
you can't
And when
forget
he's
him.
dying, he's saying like egg. And he's like talking to himself, having memories
Mhm.
of childhood. This is him. This is him. This is Aegon, who is nicknamed Egg, who
That's
he was a squire to a knight named Sir Duncan. And it's a fan
good.
favorite of the
We
books,
don't
of
have
people
a
who love the books.
we don't have a actual trailer for this yet, a full trailer?
No, but we get it's a
We
tiny
get a
teaser with a few shots.
tiny teaser.
Let's play
Uh,
this section again
Anything
right here.
House of the Dragon
There he
universe,
is.
I mean, Game of Thrones universe, I'm looking forward to it.
There he is. This is the second spin-off that we're actually officially getting, where we actually see footage of, right?
Yeah.
Of Game of Thrones. So this is really exciting.
Yeah,
There's
they were
Egg right
talking
there.
about Jon Snow for the longest time, and now it's canceled. I was like, what?
Oh, that's Sir Duncan the Tall. I'm really looking forward to this one. All right, let's get it.
You and I? I'm Sir Duncan the Tall.
Heck yeah.
He's Sir Duncan the Tall,
And then we get
Did you
Last of
hurt her?
Us
Last of
season
Us.
2.
which was a big
Hold on.
show for
What
last
did you
year.
do?
Let me back it up just a second. I want to see what she was saying.
What did you do?
I saved her.
All right.
I saved her.
So we got a handful of pretty good shows that are coming out. When it comes to The Last of Us, I think this is one that they're like, hey, everyone's anticipating this one the most, right? Because this is season one was pretty much loved on our channel, and with us, I feel like we kind of landed in the camp where it was quality, it had potential, but ultimately didn't deliver. That's what I felt like, right?
Yeah, I wanted it. I remember once the show finished, I said it would have been a great show if they started at the end and went to the beginning, because it was like
All
you
the action
thought
was
they
at
were
the
gonna-
beginning.
Yeah, you thought that they were gonna build to it, but it was like right at the beginning, everything happened, and then it was like slow at the end. So it was like not building to anything. So that's what I
It
thought.
was
But
building
so
to stuff, but
I'll watch the second season
I
because
will too.
I'm just curious. I'm just
I
curious
want to
about it.
see. I want to see a really good second season. Now I know people might be a bit more shaky on this one because the second game, right? So game 2
Mhm.
was pretty
Is
much hated across the board.
Yeah, it's not as beloved.
So if season 2 sticks with Joel and Ellie, then they're going to have more more better reception. If they do what the second game of Last of Us did, pretty sure they got rid of Joel, right? In the second
Mhm.
game. I'm not
But it
sure. I'm
look
not a
but
gamer.
yeah, it looks like he's back, so
Hey, he's back. This could literally just be the first episode and then he dies or something.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So we'll see. I really would like to have a very strong story for Last of Us season 2 that involves the clickers a lot more. I want to like this, but season 1 did not sell me at all. And I really want to like this show. So I really hope season 2 delivers more and doesn't go further down than what my expectations were lowered to from season 1. But I'm really looking forward to Knights of the Seven Kingdoms or Knight
Oh,
of the
yeah.
Seven Kingdoms. I'm really looking forward to Dune, and I'm really looking forward to Penguin, and I'm mildly looking forward to White Lotus, and I have hope. We have hope against hope that season 2 of The Last of Us will be better. Some of these other shows that they talked about, some of them I'm aware of, not a fan of, and then some of them are brand new and I haven't seen them before. So I am looking forward to maybe trying out some of these comedies. You know what I mean? Like they have a couple comedies it looks like they threw in there, and I might look to see at those.
You think HBO is good for their comedies? I
Yes,
feel like
yeah.
I don't know. I
HBO is
don't
pretty
think
good
they're
at comedy.
I don't think their original comedies are very strong.
Well, like things like the spinoff of Sex and the City. No, definitely
Yeah,
not.
that's the one. That's the one with Bobby Lee in it, right?
Yeah, he's in that, and they have a preview for another season in this. There's a little moment in there, but like that's supposed to be like a sitcom or like it's like a more romance with some comedy. It's sort of a comedy, and I've seen a lot of the Sex and the City show, not interested at all, and even less interested in the new one here, but yeah, there's a
That's
couple in
not
there.
your thing.
It's
Your
not my
thing.
thing. It's not my thing. It's some people's
It
thing.
could be your thing. Could be your thing.
You
I'm
talking to
talking
the
about
audience?
the
You
audience,
talking to the one
not to
person out
you.
there that really likes
Yeah,
Sex and the
it could be
City?
your thing, not our thing.
No, it's not. Well, it's not my thing for sure. And there was one. Let me see if I can go and try to find it again. There was one little moment from a show. This one right here. What's it called? The franchise. I'm
Yeah.
interested in the franchise because listen to this real quick. Let's see. Will it play? Oh, it's freezing up on me.
It feels kind of back in 2020, 2019, there was a lot of shows that were, following, The Godfather, the making of the Godfather movie with The
Mm,
Offer. And it's
mhm.
like behind the scenes, but yet a show about the making of the movie. And that's
Right.
what maybe this is.
Maybe. I'm interested. It looks like it's gonna be a comedy. I'll probably try it. If it has to do something with making movies and it's a comedy, I'll probably definitely at least try it. But that's coming out this fall as well. So, it's not we don't have to wait till next year for that. So it might be coming out soon. Um, any other final thoughts with Max? I think this is like a big moment. We just wrapped up
Change
last
your
night.
name. That's my thought. Final
Don't change your name again. Max, keep it the way. Keep it there. Look, it may not be
Everybody wants to say HBO Max.
no, we're already Max now. We're Max. We're Max. That's what we're doing. It's kind of like I know everyone wants to say Twitter, but it's X now. It's X. It's X. Just keep saying it until it feels normal. It's X now. All right. Hey, I have grace for people who still call it Twitter, but I don't have a lot of grace for people who refuse to call it X. Like yeah, if you slip up and call it Twitter, that's fine. But if you like, I'm calling it Twitter out of principle.
Yeah, but it was
Come on.
Twitter for how many years? It was Twitter for years upon years, and now
But
it's
don't be
X.
closed-minded to saying the name X.
I'm not
Like, it's
closed.
X now.
We need to change the name.
It's X. It's X.
I'm kidding.
And it's Max as well. It's Max.
Max.
A lot of X. There's a lot of X's here.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We don't want to keep you any longer. We really appreciate all your support and you guys watching with us every single week here on Monday All Weekend. We have more videos coming out this week, as well as our podcast coming out Friday. We're going to stream it live on noon. We're not actually live, but we put it out on YouTube live. It's pre-recorded and pre-edited. We hope you enjoy that coming out this Friday. We don't have Wyatt on the podcast, but we have a special guest.
Special guest.
He is been on the channel before. His name is Seth, and you might know him, you might not. You should definitely check out this Friday's podcast because it is a good time. You still get the hangout, you still get the giggles, you still get the bro time, but it's with a new personality that brings a little extra something in the mix,
A
right?
little extra something.
Not that it's not to say he's replaced Wyatt for this week, but he definitely fills a void that Wyatt leaves, right?
Now I feel like he's replacing Wyatt. Didn't think that until you said that, but
He's not replacing Wyatt. Wyatt is on not paid time off, but he's on vacation, right? So we're gonna close out. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. We'll see you next week.
next week.
Really appreciate it. Love you. Bye.